really can't be bothered to do makeup just to film a YouTube video, so even though you'd think I would, because these are the only videos that really get a lot of views, but whatever, just be assured that I'm much cooler than I look. Okay, I normally wouldn't do Degrassi videos like so soon back to back, but since I made part 1, I'm gonna finish it up with part 2 today of my least favorite episodes from the next generation. I would recommend watching the part 1 first because I have like all the disclaimers there that I'm not gonna say here. Before we start though, I wanted to show off this Degrassi High shirt that I can't believe I've never worn on here before. But it was gifted to me by Degrassi CSI. Please check out their Instagram. It is prime content featuring many Degrassi rares that you may have not ever seen. Okay, I don't know how sassy I'm feeling today, but we're gonna try our best with this video. All in all, I have 20 least favorite episodes of Degrassi The Next Generation. I did 10 in part 1, and now we're gonna finish it up with the last 10 here for part 2. All right, number 1. Season 7, Episode 3, Love is a Battlefield, aka The Devil Wears Prada. Paige gets a job as a fashion assistant as Alex spends her days not helping around. I'm sorry, this is the same source that I got the crappy synopsis from in the last video, so just bear with me. Soon, Paige's job and Alex's attitude threaten their relationship. Meanwhile, Manny considers picking things up where she left off with Damien, but finds it impossible when they disagree on a unified Degrassi Lakehurst student body. What is up? What is up with this episode? I saw The Devil Wears Prada. I already saw it. Like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? What is this? Can you even get a job like this right out of high school? And I'm sorry, but since when is Alex this big of a slob? Honestly, I don't really think it's in her character. She's not as dumb as they're trying to make her look, although I do feel her when she's like, who buys a pair of $1,300 shorts? I'm like, yeah, girl. But I don't know. Paige has never ever talked about fashion before. Why is this happening? I feel like I'm watching some weird comedy, like The Devil Wears Prada. And the whole Lakehurst I just hate it. Why is Damien so boring? Why is this happening? I don't understand. What was the point of Damien? And why would 2 schools merge and then still be 2 schools? They wouldn't. It would just become 1 school. Why are we even having this discussion? Least favorite episode number 2. Season 7, Episode 8, Jesse's Girl. AKA, when my 35-year-old boyfriend cheats on me with a 40-year-old celebrity. Caitlin returns to Toronto for a guest lecture at Toronto University, which Ellie is covering for the newspaper. When Ellie catches Jesse and Caitlin hooking up, she spirals down a drunken path. That's a bit of an overstatement. Anyway, meanwhile, Mia wants Anya to stand up to Holly J. Relatable problems continued. Actually, this episode, I think, is the perfect juxtaposition of a really unrealistic / adult storyline paired with an extremely juvenile storyline. Jessie is a terrible person. What is happening? I'm sorry. I'm not the type that would be like, we'll work this out. What just happened? No. Okay, that was awful. That was horrible. Also, is it just me? Like, I just don't think Caitlin would be doing that. Like, with any random guy. Like, I mean, no offense to those who do, but it's just not, that doesn't seem like that would be in Caitlin's character at all. Is it just me? I just don't think she would hook up in a professional situation in an empty office. Also, I think people were throwing too much shade at Ellie for drinking alcohol. I don't know if I would call that a drunken path. It could have been the start of a drunken path, but it just ended too soon for us to really know where that would have led. But let me just say, that margarita that she drinks when she's trying to do homework, it looks so good. I feel like I know what it tastes like. But anyway, I mean, in this whole like Anya, Holly J, that's so boring. They really started off boring and so like childish, which I like the childish aspect of Degrassi, but Anya was a very flat character for a long time. I'm just least favorite episode number 3, season 7, episode 15. Got my mind set on you, aka Fuzzheads in the Rando. Danny and Derek team up with Peter and a girl named Rachel on a class assignment. Their friendship is threatened when they both develop feelings for her. Meanwhile, Emma finds it hard to deal with the false accusation made against Snake, and when Damien offers comfort, she develops feelings for him. Okay, what was the point of Rachel? Why'd they come in so hard with Rachel for one episode? What? This whole thing sucks so much that I can barely think of anything to say about it. Why are we even watching? Why is this starring Danny and Derek in a random? It's just really bad. Now, I know the racism that was an important example to show us. Yes, it was. But the overall plot line was just real bad. And then the B plot, of course, is like Emma really likes Damien and he gives her a book. And then she gets a dog. And then he's like, whoa, girl! I don't understand why Emma adopting a dog would freak out a boy, because obviously it's not their dog. Like, he was freaked out because it was like she got a pet for the both of them. Obviously it's not for the both of them. It's gonna come home with her and live with her. Like, calm your tits, Damien. But largely I just hate this episode because I hate the Fuzzheads in the Rando. Least favorite episode number 4. Season 7, episode 20. Ladies' Night, aka Free the Children. Anya is put in charge of a Free the Children Freedom Fast and tries to make Holly J and Sap get along. When her plan fails, Anya is thrust into a battle against the Queen Bee herself. Meanwhile, Jay and Manny attempt to get her engagement ring from a pawn shop. It's like we're just making up crap just to keep the older kids on the show. There's no purpose. There's no path. We're just writing random crap. Just whatever comes to our mind, just to make sure that Manny and Emma and Liberty and Jay and Paige and Marco and Ellie can stick around a little longer, even though it's aimless and it's boring and it's unrelatable. This whole, like, my parents, they live in Malta. Oh, just kidding. Sorry, you bought tickets to go see, what? This whole, whatever. Okay, see, I can't articulate. If you've seen this, you know why it's stupid, okay? And this whole, again, Anya just really sucks in the beginning, TBH. I love her later, but she sucks. And why does she want Sav and Holly J to get along? Like, and what is this Freedom Fast thing? And how come she's never involved in philanthropy ever again? And why she take her ponytail down when she gets upset? Least favorite episode number 5. Season 8, episode 4. Didn't we almost have it all? Liberty decides to pledge for the school's popular sorority, though her determination to join the Greek system ultimately tests her friendship with Emma and Manny. That's not really what happened. As student council president, Holly J revels in being the queen bee, but after finding out she's the only virgin on the power squad, she attempts to keep her position by going after her crush. That's not her crush. Okay. I find that a lot of filmmakers, show makers, whatever, I feel that they often have a hard time portraying Greeks and Greek life. It just seems like no one quite gets it. Perhaps there aren't enough Greeks involved in production. Besides, this isn't how recruitment goes. I'm particularly annoyed that all the Greeks look 40. And why are there only 5 members of, what is it, Gamma Phi Beta? Why are there only 5 members of that sorority? Why do we only see 5 people? We should at least be seeing 60 beautiful 20-year-olds. Where are they? And this standard to excel at partying thing is really weird. Liberty, you have to prove that you excel at taking shots. Please, go ahead. What? That doesn't happen. I mean, yeah, there's drinking and partying and like maybe peer pressure, but it's not a requirement. I don't want to nitpick, but all we can agree on. I'm going to speak for you. Let's all agree that the college episodes suck. Just like the college episodes of Boy Meets World suck. Just like the college episodes of Sister Sister suck. When they get to college, it's like writers just don't know what to do anymore. And the Holly J's virginity thing is just weird. But I don't think Holly J liked Blue. That wasn't her crush. She was just like, he'll do. And she like robotically tries to not even seduce him. She just tries to engage in activity. That was just all very odd. But let's move on. Least favorite episode, number 6. God. Season 8, episode 15. Touch of Grey. AKA Blaze. May be my least favorite episode ever. Emma's tired of being referred to as Kelly's girlfriend and blonde Emma, especially when she's not even blonde anymore. This is a really great description. In order to shed her plain girl image, which nobody called her plain, she begins smoking pot. Meanwhile, Casey's bad boy past is revealed. Can I just say this? Can I just don't get mad. When blondes dye their hair brown, nothing kills me more. It just never comes out right. Okay, sometimes it does. Sometimes it does come out right. But in most cases, something's wrong. You can tell they used to be blonde and they dyed it brown. You can tell. It's murky. It's weird. It'll be too murky or it'll be too brassy. In Emma's case, it's very murky. And I hate looking at it. That was a mistake. No wonder everyone calls her Blonde Emma. It's clear that there was blonde under there and she tried to cover it up with some crappy hair dye. But anyway, moving on from the hair. This episode sucks so bad. I don't like overusing the word cringe, but I will cringe here. Hey guys, do you want to like Blaze? Of course it had to turn into a huge disaster. Of course someone can't just smoke weed and have a nice time, right? Of course somebody ends up in the hospital. And I don't know, who does she smoke with? Becky and Gwyneth. I don't really like them. It doesn't fit. I don't. Oh, and then the B plot is KC is trying to hide the fact that he lives in a group home and he used to be a bad boy. But like, in what reality would a former bad boy want to hide that? It seems like most bad boys would like to advertise that, if nothing else, just for like some cred, some clout, or even some protection, because people will understand I do not mess with him. I don't know why he's so ashamed. And Sean was the same way. Come on, think about real life. Think about the bad boys you know in real life. They'll always be talking about the bad boy shit they've done. Least favorite episode, number 7. Season 9, episode 12, Heart Like Mine. AKA, the creepy coach and KC. KC begins to question his relationship with Coach Carson after he demonstrates questionable behavior as a teacher. Strangely worded sentence, okay. Meanwhile, Fiona auditions for the school's musical and Declan gives her a part regardless of the fact that she had a bad performance. I'm not sure what the motivations of this coach were. What is he? What is he, like some kind of an exhibitionist who enjoys the presence of same-sex minors? We can't really deep dive into this because then it'll be NSFW. It's very uncomfortable, as it's supposed to be, so they did a good job of that, but I'm just, what kind of a situation is this? Because I don't know what the warning is supposed to be. Like, what is Degrassi trying to warn us about? And, like, the funniest thing is when Casey finds out that the coach has a gun in his glove box. It's hilarious the way that all these Degrassi characters react to a gun. You go sit down in any restaurant where I live and you see guns on everybody's hip. It's just so, it's so interesting watching the reactions of these characters on this Canadian show when they are in the presence of a gun. I'm not trying to say that I think guns are right or wrong or whatever. I'm just saying where we're at. And then he just like carries the gun, shaking and crying, to go like turn it into the teachers. That was weird. I'm elaborating too much on minor details that aren't the reason why I hate the episode. So anyway, next. Least favorite episode number 8. Season 8, episode 13, Holiday Road. AKA, this is Emma's last episode, except for like a reunion in next class or whatever. Emma returns to Degrassi along with Kelly on their cross-country bike tour and is keeping a big secret from Snake and Spike. Shantae writes an article on the Anti-Grapevine about her date with Danny, making everyone believe he's cheap. First of all, I don't know what is happening with Shantae. Like, what are they doing with her? It's like they've placed her kind of as a main character. They've kind of placed her as a staple character, yet we don't know her. We know nothing about her. We don't know about her family. We don't know about what she likes, what she's into. We don't even have a real impression of her personality because it always just changes to fit the situation they want to put her in. And it's really frustrating, especially because they kept her at Degrassi for 20 years. You know, one day she's having a slumber party with Liberty and Manny and Emma, and the next day she's eating lunch with Maya and Madeline. I don't know, maybe, I don't remember. But it's just really annoying. They treat her like a prop. As for the main plot, Emma's still got that hair. And I don't know. We don't get to leave with her in a place of triumph. It's a place of failure and defeat. And even after she ends up marrying Spinner, I just still feel like she failed. Sorry, that's really brutal. We all fail sometimes, and I guess that's what it's trying to show. But that's not what I wanted for my Emma, for my favorite character. And she just seems so weak. And she used to be so strong with so much vindication. I hate the relationship with Kelly at this point because it's almost like she's forcing him. It's like he's her unwilling boyfriend. When Kelly drinks that wine and eats that steak, it's sickening. And I love steak. It was still sickening. Number 9. Season 10, episodes 24 and 25. All Fall Down. AKA Sex High School. When Bianca begins flirting with him, Drew must decide whether to remain faithful to his girlfriend, Allie, or give in to temptation. Claire has had enough of the Fitz and Eli rivalry, girl me too, and decides to put a stop to it. Sav and Holly J have to convince Mr. Simpson to ignore the PTA ruling to cancel the night in Vegas dance by promising to keep the event trouble-free, period. And then the description for the second half of the episode. Degrassi will never be the same after the night in Vegas dance. Allie finds out about Drew's indiscretion with Bianca in the boiler room and decides to get back at him by prostituting herself. That's not really what it says. By doing something she may regret forever. Holly J and Sav sneak out of the dance to have a little fun. And the feud between Eli and Fitz gets out of hand and reaches a serious level of violence, possibly even fatal. I wish the Eli and Fitz crap never happens. Fitz should never have even been in that show. What even is happening? Also, if you're mad at your boyfriend, why would you like be a prostitute? No offense to prostitutes, but that's just a little drastic. Just go kiss someone. Allie, stop trying to force Drew to be your boyfriend. If you had to force him to be your boyfriend, that's probably not a good way to start. He didn't want to be your boyfriend. You wouldn't leave him alone. Not saying she deserved what happened, but like it just shows that he wasn't going to be a good boyfriend. That was a red flag. It was a red flag, and she just can't let a guy go. All this sexual activity, like the Holly J and Sav doing that striptease thing. I'm sorry. What high schooler is that glamorous and sexy? Can I even say that sentence? There's just so much wrong with that episode, and I'm getting tired. All right. I included no episodes from season 11 on this list, which is crazy. That's not to say there weren't things that I hated about season 11, but I just felt like no episodes warranted a spot on this list. So we're going to move on to the last one, number 10, season 12, episodes 27 and 28. Tonight, aka Pickle Pants. Whisperhug have made the finals of the Battle of the Bands, and Adam catches the eye of the lead singer of another band. Meanwhile, still reeling from the kiss, Maya attempts to get Zig interested in Tori again. Also, Claire feels like there's a double standard at home in regard to what she and Jake are allowed to do. And the description for part 2 is, as Whisperhug prepare for the band competition, things get messy between Adam and Missy. Meanwhile, Zig tells Maya that he wants to break up with Tori in order for them to be together. Also, when Jake receives no punishment for smoking weed, Claire decides to arrange a family meeting. The whole Pickle Pants thing is just really uncomfortable. Missy makes me uneasy. She seems very insincere from the beginning. I don't like that whole plot and her stealing the song. Like, what? Why is this happening? I'm not sure. Don't really like Whisperhug. This whole Maya, Zig, Tori thing is another like really juvenile circumstance. It just seems like the writers are just kind of writing blindly with no like purpose in sight at this point. Actually, the Claire storyline is fine. It's fine. I don't really have a problem with that whole thing. Okay, that wore me out. I'm pretty tired. Sorry if I stopped elaborating as the video went on. But like I said, I'm sure a lot of these are self-explanatory. Now we're stopping at season 12 because I'm not too familiar with season 13. I've only seen it a couple times and it's been a while. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a 14-15 next class selection at some point. That's where we'll leave off. Let me know if you agree or disagree, or if there's a terrible episode that I forgot to mention here. If you don't follow me already, I have an Instagram at broomheadz. I have a website that's basically just an outfit database, broomheadz.com. And again, don't forget to check out Degrassi CSI on Instagram for some prime Degrassi content. All right, see you next time, broomheads.